All right, so it's a big week for technology earnings, but also a potentially big week on Capitol Hill. This as a vote could come as soon as tomorrow on that CHIPS Act. You remember that. It's the one that has the $52 billion in subsidies and investment tax credits, all in the name of boosting U.S. manufacturing. Now, I've read actually, though, here's the weird thing. There were some chip companies may actually not be even in favor of it. But let's face it, with that kind of dough, someone's going to benefit. So as an investor, we want to know who. Well, we got one of the best joining us now, IO Fund official technology analyst Beth Kindig. And Beth, let's just say that it goes through, they get this $52 billion. Is there a sector or a segment or certain companies that would benefit most?
Yeah, hi, good to see you, Charles. The CHIPS Act, as it's written, will only benefit manufacturers. Those chip companies that focus primarily on design, they're not happy about this, rightfully so, because again, it's slanted in favor of manufacturers. There's another act called the FABS Act, which actually honors both manufacturing and design, and that's what the bigger chip companies think is more fair. I think as an investor, our goal is to make sure the government does not get in the way of innovation. We don't want to weaken our strongest design companies. So
then it sounds like you aren't that happy with this.
You know, I'm happy about bringing chip manufacturing over to our soil. I think that the United States is between a rock and a hard place right now. It's not ideal to be outsourcing the hardware stack in technology over to, another country. Creates way too much tension. They could potentially stifle our innovation. So overall, it's a positive thing, but I do think it should be more split between manufacturing and chip design because there are so many chip design companies that have outpaced in terms of innovation, and you don't want to weaken that right now.
So would this mean like an advanced applied materials, would that be a winner versus, let's say, NVIDIA that would not be a winner?
I mean, the biggest winner right now is Intel. The numbers are about $20 billion from the CHIPS Act and another $10 billion from the FABS Act would go to Intel. Additional fabs on American soil include Micron, Texas Instruments, and Lam Research. And so those companies right now, as it's written with the CHIPS Act, would be the beneficiaries.
I want to talk about the technology names. Obviously, people still want them to work out. That's where most of the money continues to flow. And it's so amazing because it feels like every time there's a bump in the market, which is not a lot these days, but when they are, it seems like you get the mega cap names that do pretty well. You look at the heat maps and stuff, but there's these second tier non-profitable tech names that are acting great as well. What do you make of that? I mean, are there opportunities there, too, that maybe we're overlooking?
Yes, absolutely. What we saw where there were a couple of cloud stocks and cybersecurity stocks that actually bottomed in May. That means as the broader market made a new low, these companies did not make a new low. From the FANGs, the mega cap, Google was actually the one that did not make a new low. So that's always very encouraging to see.
What's your favorite name right now, Beth?
I'm going to go with Bitcoin. We've been buying the crypto space recently, which might shock some people. It's certainly out of favor, but sometimes that makes the best trade. The way we will know if Bitcoin is bottomed is if it absolutely has to hold 14,000 and 15,000 for this to be an uptrend, a continuation of the larger uptrend. But what we are hoping for and expecting is that the next pullback holds 19,000. If so, that's a very strong buy signal. Fundamentally, Bitcoin is in a much better position than when it traded around this price previously. Bitcoin wallets have gone exponentially up. As you know, Bitcoin is held on companies' balance sheets, Tesla, Square, among others. So Bitcoin is also certainly in a much better position fundamentally, but we watch technicals with Bitcoin, and those are the levels to watch very, very closely. That 19,000 is key.
Right. And let's just say this move like today. I mean, if it gets this through 22, 23, I mean, could you be saying quickly on a flash 28? I mean, I don't see anything in the way of it going to like 28, 29 on the upside if it breaks out here.
It's very sentiment driven, so sometimes it'll pull back a little before it skyrockets. And so we do think that 19,000 region is going to be tested one more time, and that's the moment when it gets tested. We think it will do exactly what you just described after that minor pullback.
Beth, thank you so much. It's great to see you on the Bitcoin bandwagon. You know, I got 1.1 Bitcoin, so thank you. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Charles.
All right.